Good morning. It is me, Pearl from Pearl and the Prayers, and this is Tuned In Tarot. And we are here to take a look at the balance between the divine masculine and the divine feminine energies inside of ourselves. Understanding that whatever state we find this energy in, we can expect to see that reflected back to us in our interactions with others, in our external environment. And if we want to see change, we have to shift and change our perspective. We have to identify limiting beliefs and release them and replace them with healthier, more beneficial beliefs. And today's reading, the Obstacles Removed spread, is one of the best ways to help you with shifting energy when you're feeling stuck or blocked in some way. We look at the feminine side of self and the masculine side of self. And as I said in the beginning, it's a reflection. So if you come here to get information about a person, don't dismiss one side or the other because you're identifying it with the gender. It is not a gender, it's energy, and every person ebbs and flows. So your person will relate to both sides, and so will you. So keep that in mind. Let's see if there's any other announcements other than just to click the link below for booking personal readings, checking out my music. All the good things are there. Becoming a member so that you can hear the Tell Me Everything spreads. And as of next week, the oracles portions of the readings will be extended over on my website. Really simple to join. All the instructions are below. Thanks so much for being here. Let's begin. So there is a reason you came here today. There is some intention that you have, that you'll hear a message. You want to feel better in some way. A lot of times we come here because of a person that's not communicating. So maybe we want to hear communication and we want to hear what that communication might entail. There's all kinds of reasons we might come here. So just bring what reason you have to be here into your mind. And that reason is what you think you need. And sometimes that is in alignment with what we actually need, and sometimes it is not. So whatever that thing is, that's what you think you need. That's what your ego thinks you need. This is what you actually need to do. We have this growth card from the Creativity Oracle and the 8 of Cups from the Thoth Tarot. This says, feel open, willing, and proud of your desire to explore new opportunities for self-development. The 8 of Cups is about leaving behind the things that haven't really served us and going towards a higher calling. It's scary to do that because you know that there are going to be new obstacles you've not faced before on your way to that new thing. You know that where you were was so really familiar, but you've become too enclosed in that space and you need to grow or expand. So sometimes we have a single-minded focus on manifesting a specific person or a specific permutation of our career. And we can't get it to move. It feels stuck. And it's because you've outgrown the thing that you're trying to manifest. That thing comes from a version of you that didn't have as expanded of a self-concept as you do now. Now, with this expanded self-concept, you can no longer attract the things from your past self, from your past self's desires, because they don't resonate with your core. As soon as you start to identify who you are authentically, you turn away, even if some of the cups are good or had the potential to be good. You still walk away from it because you know you have a higher calling, something that is going to be better, something that's going to help you expand more, which is the whole purpose of being here. So that's what you should be gleaning from the messages today, that the universe is saying that would be what you actually need, is to walk away from something that you've outgrown. This can be a behavior, a person, a location, a job, a mindset. Okay. I don't know what to start with today. I guess I'll start with the Divine Masculine. He did have quite a lot of cards showing initially. So for the obstacles remove spread, we read both head space and heart space at the same time. We are using the Rachel True Heart Intuitive Tarot, and I'm trying to promote this deck. I don't know if you know about it. I don't see it a lot on TikTok or other readers' channels, and it's an incredible deck. She's the Black Witch from The Craft, and the book that comes with it is also really beautiful. So I highly recommend this deck, and it's listed below in my decks if you're curious about where to find it. And then I'm using my favorite, the Vice Versa Tarot. This was the deck that inspired my whole Tuned In Tarot account on Instagram, and I love it because it has the outward state of the person and the inward state of the person, and I love that. So we got a lot of messages here. Tuck in. Hope you got some popcorn. It's probably going to be a long reading. This is the general energy surrounding the Divine Masculine where he feels blocked. He does not want the connection with this Divine Feminine to be over. He's really seeking a rebirth here. If something has died, he's really seeking for it to be reborn. He feels that this connection is so strong between them. The pull that the Divine Feminine has over him is so strong. It's helped him to face off his inner demons, and he can't let this die between them. It's too integral to who he has become as a person. So he feels very blocked because he doesn't know how to let this Divine Feminine energy go. He doesn't want to have to do that. So let's look at what's blocking him, because what would be ideal is if he rebirths the connection. If we see that transformation here, this is also Scorpio, Leo energy and major energy. This masculine really admires this Divine Feminine and feels she is so strong and powerful, confident. When he believed when he believes, not when he believed, but when he does believe that they are a match, this empowers him. And he doesn't want to lose this feeling that, he could stand beside a feminine of such caliber. He's terrified of this being over or ending. And as this is the Vice Versa deck, I can see the card underneath, and it is the Queen of Wands, the Divine Feminine, the most attractive energy there. And I'm not going to keep going, but yeah, okay. Curse that Vice Versa deck, though. You just end up reading the whole entire deck. So that's where he is. That's where he is right now. He's like, I do not want this eternal connection to die. I do not want that to happen. I want to find a way to rebirth this connection, but it feels almost impossible. How do you raise a corpse from the dead without believing in miracles? You can't, right? You have to believe in the miracles. So this is the actual obstacle. The Eight of Wands in reverse in the headspace and the Two of Swords. I'm sorry, I just can't. Of course, this is the obstacle. Like, no communication with the Divine Feminine. And I just love, there's so many things I love about this moment. Number one, I love when I have written a position in a spread. The position says obstacle. Okay. That's what this position is. And then I pull the card that's like, what is the obstacle that is blocking the masculine energy? And the card's like blocking, obstacle. Okay, thank you for clarifying the position, but it's just so funny. Okay, so there is that. Then there is this divine masculine doesn't communicate his thoughts or his feelings to the feminine because he overthinks and he stays inward. And this is what inward looks like in the vice versa tarot, okay? You're always just behind the divine feminine, right? She's connecting with the moon, the cosmos. She's fully in this energy. She's in flow. And you're always just behind her. That's how he feels inside of himself, okay? Outwardly, his lack of communication has caused the feminine energy to actually block, psychically block. He even could have blocked. This could even be a masculine energy that has blocked the feminine. So how do you keep something from dying if you can't fucking talk about how you don't want it to? And he feels like he can't communicate because divine feminine is closed off to him because she can't see him. I'm laughing so much because I was out on Sunday night and I don't know for certain if the person that I have always identified as my twin was actually there because I wasn't wearing my glasses. So I think it's really funny that I literally could not even see if he was actually there to have any kind of like eye contact or response. I saw somebody that I was like, is that? And then I was like, no. So there's almost like a chance that this divine feminine didn't even actually see him. It was like, when I thought about it later, I was like, why did that happen? You know, was it just supposed to be that I saw somebody who looked like that person and then I was supposed to sense how I would feel, which I felt very calm, actually. It was not what I expected to feel. And I also didn't ask, like, do you see this person? I didn't put my glasses on. I could have done that. I was just like, I don't know. Just even if that is that person, what the hell is that going to matter? I'm not going up to that person. I'm not sitting there like this. Like my arms are open. I'm like, go ahead, tell me what you want to say. Like I'm here to tell you what you want to say, but I literally couldn't see them. So there's like this sense here from the masculine energy that's like, she doesn't even see me. She doesn't hear me, even when I do communicate. Now think about this from your perspective of trying to talk to somebody who you feel like, I don't even think they see me. I don't even think they hear what I'm saying. That's the same. That's where this energy or the masculine energy is feeling, whoa, blocked right now. Things are flying all over the place. Hang on. I really got to answer this, my assistant. Okay, so then where did this block originate? Holy shit. The Two of Wands in reverse and the King of Pentacles in reverse, okay? But I'm not done. Also, I'm getting the World card. Now, what's really interesting is we got the inward state rather than the outward state. So the inward state of the World card, and we got the outward state of the Eight of Cups, right? Or were they both inward? I think they were both inward, actually. Doesn't matter. Okay, anyway, so we got the World and the Eight of Cups, which is literally our theme. Okay, great. I'm always like, go listen to my music, and then I sing like so badly. So you'll be shocked when you hear me actually sing. So this block originated here in the headspace. First of all, we've got the Two of Wands, which is a card that is about boldness, restlessness, seeking dominion over something, asking for the world, expecting to receive it, although feeling like you have to plan and strategize how you could possibly do this. The King of Pentacles being a card of, when it's in its upright position, father, protector, provider, attractive, materially successful, financially sound, stable, stellar reputation. In its reverse, we've got not so great. This is like shadowy aspects similar to the Emperor. Rigidity, the controlling aspects that come from that Emperor in reverse, the really concerned with reputation, very, very concerned with how he appears outwardly. And the Two of Wands in reverse definitely can have an aggression in it, like aggressively seeking to end something, being like, it's possible that this masculine energy was the one who initially ended the relationship with the divine feminine, because when we're getting the inward aspect of the card appearing, we're seeing the back of the feminine. This can also be her walking away from him, like divine feminine aggressively ending the cycle with the masculine, and leaving him sort of here to face these abandonment wounds. So, and this is feeling like something will never be over. Like this thing will never end. There's a sense there of this endless cycle. And we've got twin flame energy coming from the Two of Wands. So this can be that the block of the no communication and the not receiving communication and stuff is part of the dynamic that comes from the twin flame cycles that help to heal the inner child. So it's sort of like how the two learn to communicate in childhood, and they have sort of been like trying to unlearn these things at each other. It's like the best way I can describe it. Definitely a masculine energy that feels very vulnerable in whatever has taken place, for certain. He's really feeling vulnerable about that. Okay. So how is this block currently manifesting in the 3D? Well, we're getting the Fool. Again, very interesting. We're getting the inward, the Star inward, and the Chariot inward, which makes sense because we're not seeing this outwardly. We're not seeing this energy quite yet in the physical 3D. But what we're seeing happening is divine feminine in masculine's headspace. She is hesitating, right? This is the moment right before the leap. It hasn't happened yet. And I'm seeing this dog here that's barking, and I'm feeling like this is the masculine understanding that the divine feminine is questioning his loyalty to her. That's the baggage she carries. Her trust issues with this masculine. Is he loyal to me? Has he healed enough to be able to start fresh with me? And then in his heart space, we're seeing how he has felt himself. This higher level connection has been something that has been going on within him. This dialogue that he has with feminine, it's like something that has been happening inwardly. The pull towards the feminine, this has also been something that's happening inward. So we're not seeing him come forward towards this feminine energy because everything that's been taking place has been within him, not fully expressed. And that's why divine feminine can't trust him, because she hasn't seen any of this actually expressed outward. She hasn't seen that he's experienced healing and wants to reveal his feminine energy. And she hasn't seen that he has surrendered control and that he is going with this flow and forward motion that is bringing her to her. And look, there is this cosmic path, right, that the Chariot is on. And you can't tell in this card if the path is falling away as he goes forward or if the path forms as he goes forward. So masculine has not expressed this outwardly, but he's feeling it inwardly. And because there is no expression, he fears divine feminine's ability to trust enough to take this leap with him. So that's causing him to hesitate, of course. What will help remove it? The Nine of Discs, the Nine of Pentacles upright, the Page of Swords, which is a stalker card, the Judgment card, another stalker card, and then we're getting the inward state of the Seven of Wands. So what will help remove this block? I mean, very basically, without reading super, super deeply into these cards, what will help him is if he's just brave enough to seek reconciliation and end this battle with himself, which is an illusion. There's nobody on the field, right? He's just standing his ground and being defensive for no reason. So finally facing this inward struggle, seeking this forgiveness, being brave enough, being picking up the sword and expressing apologies for the stalemate, basically, that has existed between the two of them. The Nine of Pentacles, though, is also, on a spiritual level, I'm seeing the divine masculine needing to forgive the feminine for fighting his energy off or for having other competition involved in her single energy, because divine masculine pushed the feminine into this state by withholding for so long, and he's sort of realizing this in this card. It's like you have held it against the feminine that she, was like, look, you're not coming. I'm going to be single then. Bye. And yet you weren't coming because of all of these illusions, these fears that were just ideas. They weren't actually soldiers. There were no enemies. These were perceived enemies, but there were none. So you have to forgive her for taking care of herself while you were trying to figure out how to be brave enough to actually reconcile with her. It's not her fault that you took so long that she lost her ability to trust in your loyalty. So there has to be forgiveness for the feminine here. And of course for yourself, for not really having any actual enemies, and except for yourself, for only blocking yourself. You have to forgive yourself for that. That will remove this block. What? Forgot my MIDI controller is still on. Who or what should I release from my past to move on? Oh my God, I didn't know this card was going to be. The Emperor in reverse, which was right below that King of Pentacles in reverse that I described with this distorted Emperor energy. The Two of Pentacles upright. and outward, and the Ace of Cups inward. This is just so fascinating. Right now, I have my deck set to, when I shuffle it, to be outward. So if the card is coming out inward, it's not meant to. It's kind of like for me getting a reversal. Basically, I'm supposed to get the outward card and then tell you what's going on in the inward state. But this is showing me that there are things that the masculine is not expressing outside of self. And so this is what needs to be released. Who or what? Juggling back and forth energy, right? This distorted Emperor energy, this is distorted sexual energy, having a lot of sexual partners, juggling sexual partners with the divine feminine. But this is also the controlling rigidity that you express towards the feminine energy is even worse towards the self. That's how this works. It's like, think about the shit you say to yourself when you fuck up, okay? Think about the really awful things you say to yourself. Awful. I mean, things that you would never say. Like, I would never, ever call my son a fucking idiot for doing something wrong. I would never be like, wow, you're a fucking idiot for doing that. What the fuck were you thinking? Were you even fucking thinking? Do you fucking think ever? You fucking idiot. I would never, ever, ever say that to my son. I would never say that to my friend. Maybe if I was extremely pissed off, I would say that to my divine masculine, because I actually inflict pretty, I would say pretty similar like self-talk towards my divine masculine, because he feels like me, right? So I feel more free to be as awful to him as I am to me. I'm realizing as I'm talking about this right now, because I never say that to anybody, anyone. And the way that we talk to ourselves is always worse than how we talk to those around us or those that we love. So if we're treating someone poorly, imagine how we're treating ourselves. And the Ace of Cups in the inward state shows the divine masculine showing up on this horse to approach this fountain to receive love. And this fountain is supposed to be the divine itself, right? But we see the masculine approaching a feminine who is objectified on top of this fountain, simply an image, not a real person, but a representation. And the masculine's inward state has been that he has gone to seek love from a feminine who's incredibly vulnerable. And he has objectified her in this way. So either this is having a lot of sexual partners and objectifying their bodies and seeking love through sex, because there are men who have distorted imbalance between masculine and feminine side. Rather than emotionally bond, they have sex. That is how they emotionally bond. But that's damaging to the feminine, because the feminine needs to feel emotionally bonded to have sex. So it's distortion, and that's why it doesn't work out. That's why there is this feeling of pressure the masculine has to show up more for a feminine that he's in a sexual relationship with, because she's seeking emotional bonding and he's seeking the feeling of emotional bonding, but only through sex. The other aspect of this card is that the masculine has gone and given his love to other feminines. And he just keeps returning to the fountain of the divine feminine to fill his cup, and then goes and gives it to others. The feminine at this point can't sustain that. That's why we're seeing her in this state. She's like, no, I don't teach you how to love yourself so that you can go take what I poured into your cup and give it to people who don't love you. That's not how we're going to do this, bro. So he has to release this tendency. He has to seek his fulfillment through the vulnerability of the divine feminine's emotional feelings for him. The back and forth that he used to engage in was simply so that he could consistently see that the feminine had vulnerability towards him, that she was not going to be hard or cold like the Queen of Swords energy, who's stay tuned coming up, but that her softness, her vulnerability, even her pain. Because when the divine feminine experienced pain and suffering from not being with him, ooh, this is a difficult part of this card. That made him sure that she loved him. The inward state of this Two of Pentacles is that all the decisions he's making in front of a crowd. So he's doing this juggling because of that King of Pentacles card and because of this card, worrying about your reputation. It's shitty. Like, my ego doesn't like that. That makes me feel like staying in this energy, just being like, wow, you really make it difficult for me to be open-hearted when you used me so carelessly. What can I learn from this current pause? Wow. The Moon in reverse, the Ace of Swords, and the inward state of the Queen of Swords. This is learning that if you hide the truth will come out. And if you're not the one who reveals the truth, then you're not even welcome to approach the throne. So if you're deceitful and you're trying to hide something you're afraid will turn divine feminine against you, in that action of not trusting divine feminine, you turned her against you. So that's what you learned about this. It's like you can't control it. The truth will get out. The truth will come out. And when it does, if you haven't approached the divine feminine to give her clarity, she has to make up her own stories about what happened. You don't have any chance to speak for yourself. This is like going to trial and not being given a chance to testify, to tell your side. What can I look forward to once the obstacle is removed? Oh. The Queen of Pentacles. Oh my God. So we have the Queen and the King of Pentacles. And look at this. The inward state of the King of Swords. So divine masculine, turning your back on your own icy cold aloofness, on your own rigidity, being honest with yourself, turning your back on being dishonest and not being in your integrity. If you just communicate your feelings, if you turn your back on this energy of worrying about the tower moment that might occur when you tell the divine feminine what went down, you will actually be able to have your divine feminine. This is the one, the wife, the mother, like it's the counterpart to the king. And both counterparts are here. If the Empress was here, it would be crazy. So, I don't know, divine masculine. Get your shit together, man. We'll do his oracles to help him completely release this obstacle. Okay, Divine Feminine, let's go to you first. Divine Feminines, where she's feeling blocked, the general energy surrounding how Divine Feminine feels right now is very interesting. We have the 10 of Swords from the Mystical Moments Tarot in reverse. And we have the 5 of Wands from the Ostara Tarot in reverse. It's interesting because this is a feeling to me of this is a card of completion. And when it's in reverse, a lot of times I think about this as the end of separation, of painful separation. And the 5 of Wands is like what was an internal struggle or conflict is over. It's ended. There's like whatever was keeping Divine Feminine stuck, it's not keeping her stuck anymore. So it's interesting because this is the general energy. I haven't looked at the thing yet, but the general energy surrounding what's blocking her. So this is like the end of separation. So where she's feeling blocked, I guess, is she feels like the illusion of separation is gone. But then this snake that is here, there's 2 snakes there actually. I think something to do with releasing that feeling of maybe this is about like a karmic situation. Like if she had a third party, her releasing it or cleaning up some kind of a karmic mess or something, or no longer being attached to a specific person, something. And now maybe she's just like, I don't know what to do. Let's look at the actual obstacle. So that's her general energy is like whatever was going on, wherever I was feeling blocked, wherever I was struggling, that is over. The actual obstacle now is the Moon in reverse and the 6 of Wands in reverse. So there's the Moon in reverse again. Now let's take a good look at this one because I've never looked at this card before. Ooh, I like the Howling at the Moon aspect. The Divine Feminine appears to be part octopus here. And they're howling at the moon. That's a gorgeous image. And then the 6 of Wands, which is an interesting thing because it has these fish. The Ostara Tarot is interesting because when I see fish, I think cups, but then there's wands. It's very, very strange. I know that in the Hermetic Tarot, there are cards that are identified as the fiery part of earth or the fiery part of air. This could be the watery part of fire. So there could be some just aspect here of emotional success or emotional fulfillment. So I feel like Divine Feminine, your block is it's got something to do with being kept secret and hidden. There is something about this block, this secrets, mysteries, things that are unknown, maybe not knowing how you're going to be successful. It's like, I know I'm going to be successful, but I don't know how. That's blocking you. It's like needing to know how, maybe needing to know when, needing other people to see your success rather than just feeling it. It's interesting because when I had that experience I talked about where I was at the lounge and I saw a person that could have been this divine counterpart, I didn't tell anyone. No one. I didn't text any of my really close friends who would, in fact, I told somebody yesterday and she was like, I can't believe you didn't tell me that. And I was like, I mean, I don't really know if it was that person, but a past version of myself would have freaked out and texted everybody. I would probably try to take a picture. And it had become something that was not about my ego, really. It was not about letting the trucks go by. Must be an important message. It was not about other people seeing that he was there for me to see me. There'd be no other reason for him to be there. Or that I didn't care. Like, my ego wasn't attached to an outcome, which is why I didn't feel disappointed when I didn't know for certain if that was him, and then if he just left, and I don't know. I was just like, okay. I'm not as concerned about how other people perceive me. I don't need people to know these secrets, these things that are hidden about me as much anymore. But to see this as a block is, there is still a part of divine feminine that does fear that she will always be kept like the best kept secret. Where did this block originate? Wow. The Eight of Cups and death, which there's death and the Eight of Cups for the masculine and the Eight of Cups for the theme of this whole reading, which is about growth and expansion. So walking away from something, letting something die, letting something end or transform. And then we're getting the Five of Swords, very similar energy to that Five of Wands energy, only in the headspace rather than more of like the spiritual struggle. And the Knight of Pentacles, which is the card I pulled today from the Hermetic Tarot and the card that was on top of the vice versa deck when I started shuffling it today because I noticed it. So, okay. Divine Feminine feels she's being blocked right now by her need to know what's going to happen because she walked away and let something die, trusting that doing this would end this conflict between them, and then she would be able to experience this success. But it's taking a long fucking time, and it's really dull right now, and plotting and laborious, and she's like, I don't know how long I can take this. I don't know how long I can take my counterpart's feelings being hidden from me, how long I can take like when I'm going to actually achieve union with this counterpart. I don't know if I can fucking handle it. And I walked away from the potential of ever having somebody that I loved. I broke open my own chest and pulled out my own heart and like held it pulsing in my hand and then dropped it and walked away from something that was an incredible temptation to me. And now, after having done something so fucking painful, so fucking difficult, I'm still waiting to see a material manifestation. You told me if I walked away that I would be able to receive my reward. Where the fuck is it? Where the fuck is it? When is it coming? Where is my success? When are other people going to see what the fuck I had to do? The fucking sacrifice I fucking had to make. Where? When? Where? Relatable? Okay, well, let's see how the black is manifesting in the 3D. The Two of Swords and the Queen of Swords in reverse and the motherfucking Tower. Holy shit. So there's the Queen of Swords. We've got there in union with the masculine, and the Two of Swords, which was where his block is. Divine feminine not knowing how, when, where this shit is gonna finally fucking pay off, has caused her to go into this state of, fine, I'm not doing anything then. You're not gonna give me anything? I'm not doing anything. I'm not talking to you. I'm not gonna come. If you come up to me in the Silver Lake, or if you're just fucking in the Silver Lake Lounge, I don't give a fuck. I'm not coming up to you. I'm not gonna fucking say anything to you. I don't have I'm keeping my fucking boundaries with you because I had to rip out my own heart. You want me to do that again, you son of a bitch? Like, and this is to the universe too. This is like, oh, you want me to give you your messages? You want me to do healing? You want me to do the things you want me to do and you don't fucking give me anything? No. I'm just going to sit here until you fucking give me something that doesn't look like shit. And then her sitting there, refusing to make any kind of a choice or decision because she's frustrated with how slowly things are moving. She doesn't want to take the reins. She's overthinking, and stuck. This is analysis paralysis right here. But nothing that she's thinking, she's actually doing. And so what is happening is, instead of making decisions and making choices and just, seeking clarity on what you desire, for the longest time, you've been on masculine's agenda. That was the emperor in reverse. Now you're on your own agenda, but you're refusing to follow the strategy that you know you need to follow. And it keeps causing these uncomfortable moments for you where you're forced to release things. Doesn't look so good. How do we remove this? It's like, if I don't know how and I don't know when, I'm not doing it at all. Okay. So what will help remove this? This is the Judgment card, which we also would help remove Divine Masculine's block. Do you see the reflection? And the Three of Cups. There are two meanings here. Forgiveness for third-party energy that has gotten in the way of being able to reunite, and reuniting and reconciling with the Divine Masculine. So, if we're looking at this as we're supposed to look at it, instead of how we do look at it, which is we're thinking about a person that we want to reconcile with right now. If we look at this energetically, what this means is you have to have a date with your masculine side of self, the part that is supposed to take action after the strategy is created by the Queen of Swords, right? The Queen of Swords thinks she's creative. She thinks of the best strategy or battle plan. And then the King of Swords unites with her and takes action. In the situation that we're in internally, inwardly, not outwardly in the 3D, but within ourselves, the feminine side of self has a desire to create something. The masculine side of self is afraid he cannot create it. Rather than working with the divine feminine to try to follow a strategy that she will create and do the things that she suggests, he remains icy, cold, and aloof. This is like you being unwilling to really think about how you're going to do what you're imagining you need to do to get the thing you desire. Do you see what I mean when I say this is a reflection of our energy and we are experiencing this from a person, but that person is showing us what we are doing internally. Internally, there is a refusal to communicate the feelings outwardly. So whatever creation we have, there's a refusal to actually bring that into the material. So if you are imagining a version of yourself who owns an empire and you can't pay your rent, this guy's not doing his job. Rather than being hard on yourself and criticizing yourself and being like, wow, you're a fucking idiot. You don't do any of the things that you could do that would help you. You need to have forgiveness and compassion and be lighthearted and take yourself a lot less seriously. Because it is this stoicism and seriousness that is causing such a problem. This is all about fear, trying to control your environment. You don't need to. You just need to trust and have faith that what you desire more than anything in the world is coming to you. All you have to do is open yourself to receive it. Who or what should I release from my past to move on? My God. The Ace of Pentacles in reverse and the Fool. Where did we see the Fool? It was I can almost see the, oh yes, it was here. Give me card. Give to me. Okay, there we go. I don't know why I couldn't pick it up. The Fool was what came out for what is currently manifesting. And it's interesting because in both of these cards, we got a feminine energy. And I have decks, so many different decks that depict the Fool as either androgynous or a more masculine energy. So very interesting to see the feminine in both of these decks today. So what the feminine needs to release right now is, this is interesting. This is being really foolish with who she gives her offers to. She's like, this is, to me, this is like squandering your fortune. The Ace of Pentacles is wealth, abundance, prosperity, growth. And growth is something that we need to allow. It's like you're wasting your pentacle on something or someone, some idea, some past version of yourself. Your past version of self had this idea, this grandiose idea. Oh, this person is, the best version for you. And it's like you need to stop squandering your offer foolishly on people that don't match your offer. They don't bring the same thing to the table. Like when I met someone on that same night that I thought I saw my twin, which I still don't know, like if it was, I just remember being like, I feel like no, like that person is too old. Like that doesn't look, no. It's not that person. It didn't look, I was like, no. I've seen him in person before. I know what he looks like. That's not him. But also being like, but is it? Do I just not recognize him? I feel like the universe gave me this opportunity to assess what the reality of the fantasy I have is really like and questioned me. Do you still want it? I wanted the conversation. I wanted the opportunity to actually assess whether I would want to give my offer to this person or not. I wanted the opportunity to make the choice myself instead of having the choice made for me by that person. by that person being like, oh, I'm unworthy, or whatever their insecurities are. I didn't want to have to the decision made because of their insecurities. I wanted to make the choice myself. So did I want to choose that person? I don't know, but I wanted the opportunity to be able to make the choice myself. I wanted the opportunity to assess the offer as if it came from a page energy, right? The page brings the Ace of Pentacles and is like assessing it. Is this enough? And it's not about that masculine being a match or being good enough. It is about him being a match to me. Just the baseline. So after having that experience, I ended up meeting someone who was randomly from the town in New York that I was born in. I was born in Utica, New York, and he was from there. And when he started talking, I was like, why do you seem so familiar? And then after that, I realized it was his accent. Like, it was very, sometimes you can hear it. When I just said accent, you could hear it. I have like I don't know what it is. It's kind of like a hard A's or something. Instead of . But anyway, I was like picking up on it, and I was like, oh my God, you're from town. And then we communicated, and he invited me out to another event. And I was doing this. I was not foolishly squandering, but I was assessing. I was like, does he have this? Does he have this? Does he have that? Is this in place? Like, rather than just be like, okay, like, actually, do I really want to spend time with this person again? And I did. I do love to see him again. It was fantastic. But I'm not about to go give him my pentacle and start watching every single thing he does and be like, oh my God, and then we're going to get married. Like, no. So Divine Feminines, she's got to stop doing that. She's got to stop taking this really valuable offer and just leaping into the next thing because she wants so badly to recover from where she just was. And that keeps happening to the feminine energy. And think about your masculine person. If you're a feminine focused on a masculine, think about how your masculine squanders his pentacle emotionally, right? Like, so he just gives this offer to people that they're not going to do anything with it. They're not going to be able to match it. They're not going to be able to, it's the same thing. What can I learn from this current pause? Oh my God. We're getting the female King of Pentacles in reverse. So now we even have the King of Pentacles again. My God. And also in reverse. And we're getting the Four of Pentacles in reverse, which is something I like to see. And then just hold on to your hats, ladies and gentlemen, because we are fucking getting the King of Pentacles again in the same, I can't. So that's 3 decks, 3 King of Pentacles, and 3 decks, 3 Two of Swords. You saw it here, folks. Here's what Divine Feminine is learning from this current pause, from the weight that she's enduring right now. She is learning how to let go of this giving a fuck about her reputation and about her external appearance, the way it looks to everyone else. She's not holding on to this idea that she has to appear a certain way to everybody, to be that way. She is learning instead how to embody within herself, right? The Two of Swords is about going within, the King of Pentacles energy. So it doesn't matter what it looks like on the outside. she's actually learning how to do this inside. And it is by setting these healthy boundaries that she is honoring her worth. And it might seem a little bit mean, this Blue Jay energy. It might seem a little mean. It might seem a little territorial, but it's absolutely necessary because she is parting ways with people pleasing and instead embodying her own provider protector energy within self and really, really defending her worth. It's like my divine counterpart could have been at that place. It still would have been his job to walk up to me and tap me on the shoulder. It is not my job to notice him and go to him. Nope. That would be unworthy of me. You don't go back to get slapped in the face after you've been slapped before. I am not interested in going back for more. If he wants to come and apologize for slapping me, he didn't actually slap me. If he actually slapped me, there'd be a real big problem. I wouldn't be talking about him. But if you don't come up to apologize to me, there's nothing to say. I don't care if you think that's mean. It's not mean. It's just showing you that I don't take shit and I won't ever. And if you can't not dish it out, then don't come here. So that's a really powerful thing to learn, how to set healthy boundaries, how to honor what's within you, your worth. And then what can I look forward to once this obstacle of needing to know how everything is going to happen, when it's going to happen, and needing everybody else to see it? What could I have then? Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. The 5 of Pentacles in reverse, the 10 of Cups, and the 10 of Pentacles. If you can fucking stop worrying about how it's going to happen and when everyone else is going to see it paying off, you could have your spiritual fulfillment and the material manifestation of it. And you can leave behind the abundance or the lack mentality and embrace abundance consciousness. If you stop fucking worrying about when it's going to happen, how it's going to happen, and who's going to see it, all of that shit is your ego and it's blocking you. You're purely blocked by the ego. And Divine Masculine knows better. Divine Masculine knows the feminine's strength to control her ego. Because right now, it's the only thing standing in your way for both of you. Not communicating because you're afraid. And not believing the communication can come because you don't know how or when it could possibly happen. So you're afraid it won't. And if you just believe, I shuffle these cards. I'm high as fuck when I'm doing it. I would not even have the mental capacity to be able to choose cards in these progressions. They fall out of the deck and then I interpret the messages. I can't make up the 10 and the 10 coming out as the completion on the completion of the spread. So that is a miracle. And if you can just believe in these miracles that I fucking see it's 10:10 right now on the goddamn clock. What? Son of a bitch. If you just believe in that outcome, this obstacle goes away. I'm telling you, I've told you this before. Remember when you were a kid? And if you were lucky enough, I should say, to live in a family that celebrated events like birthdays or Christmas or whatever, those things happened. You knew they were going to happen. You weren't afraid. Christmas wasn't going to happen on the 25th. It always did. You were just excited. You just anticipated it. You know, when I was on my way to the Silver Lake Lounge on Sunday, I felt anticipation. And I didn't know why, because I was just going to see friends who I know pretty well, 10, 11 just now. And I didn't really have any reason to be super excited. I wasn't performing. There wasn't a crush who I was expecting to see. But I felt this anticipation, this excitement. And I thought it might not be me. Like, I thought it might be my counterpart. And I didn't want to get my hopes up or be excited if that was the case. So rather than be in anticipation, I was in anxiety. And if I shifted into anticipation, maybe I would have felt like putting my glasses on. You know? It's like you really do determine the outcome of your situation by how you feel and think. And you can come to my readings day after day, listening to them and expecting that the masculine energy that you're hoping is going to come is going to shift and change without you doing anything. And that's just not going to happen. So if somebody asks me, oh, when is my masculine going to come back? And I pull cards, I can give you whatever the cards say. But I know intuitively that until you figure out how you are withholding communication or how you are squandering your offer, you're going to keep having people come into your life who keep teaching you these lessons. You have to actually do the thing to move on to the next level. Just imagine you're playing a video game and you're stuck on a level that's pretty hard. You can go look up a walkthrough, see other people have done it before. But even with the walkthrough, you still have to like jump off this, do a backflip spin and, you know, whatever. You can either give up on the game or you can keep trying until you get it. But if you keep not completing the level, you're never going to go to the next stage. Divine Masculine, the archetypes that are going to help you release this obstacle is the lover archetype, which is great passion and devotion and unbridled appreciation of someone or something. Releasing any obsessive passion that harms others or self-destructive devotion. And this card came out actually in its reverse for the twins this week. So I do feel that the archetype of being in the light of this great passion and devotion, this will help you. And then releasing the shadow attributes of the damsel, which is waiting for a knight to provide for you and seduction by romantic illusion. Very interesting to see these cards come out together because we have the lover and the damsel, and both await love, but one feels self-love and the other waits to be loved. So releasing this shadow attribute and embracing the light of understanding the nature of healthy romance and relying on yourself, having great passion and devotion and unbridled appreciation of yourself might actually be a place to start. The guardian angel that is here to support you is helping you with your bravery right now. There's the strength card again. Be brave. So if you're feeling afraid of these communications or of what you need to say, you are getting extra support here in being brave. Wasp spirit is also here to remind you that sometimes life stings, but you have to let go of the story that hurts, right? This is 64 in the Colette Baron Reed Oracle. Not all that spirit creates in nature is easy to love. But when we look through the eyes of Wasp Spirit, we recognize that even though sometimes life stings, there is a purpose for pain, just as there is a purpose for wasps in the natural world. Wasps keep insect populations down, supporting the growth of plants. So too, the sting of life may hurt, and you may feel deeply disappointed or even resentful that Wasp Spirit has shown up, but you will soon come to see that Spirit has something wonderful in store for you. You may well come to realize that being stung led to something far better than you had envisioned for yourself. Perhaps behind the scenes, Wasp Spirit was conspiring with Spirit to ensure that you could grow something of value to you. Spirit has a plan, and Wasp Spirit plays a part. Have you ever looked back and been glad your prayers weren't answered because the path you took led to something far better? Wasp Spirit is a reminder to reflect on those times, for today's sting may hurt, but something better awaits you. You know, I would never have become a tarot reader if my career as a musician had worked out. I would have just done music, and I don't know that I would have. I guess I can't say never. Maybe I would have had an experience, and I still would have done it. But when I look back, my past self thought the only thing that would make me happy and fulfilled is if I was a rock star that was selling lots and lots of records and touring all over the world and whatever the fuck. And now I could give a shit about that. I mean, I still am working on that, but it's almost just like, whatever, man. Like, it doesn't even matter. What matters to me is when I wake up 6 days a week, that I feel this urge to read these cards and share these messages. And if I had not been stung countless times and wondered why and how I could recover from such a thing, I don't believe I would have arrived here. So it's really being aware that what I thought was good for me, this is actually better. Because honestly, being just a rock star, I would probably have engaged in all of the shadow behaviors that I have learned to identify and own. And I probably could have gotten very sick and not been very happy and wondered, why. This trajectory that I am on has prepared me to be a much better musician than I would have been if I had not become this strong in my awareness of what I desire and what it takes to get it, and how I block myself from it. Divine Masculine, this is the work that you need to do to unblock right now. This says, align your life. What is not aligned or needs to change? So let me give you this light work. Where is the contents? Arg. There we go. $34. Sorry about it. Okay. What in your life is no longer in alignment with who you truly are? We are cyclic beings in a constant state of change, of evolution, of growth. Change is one of the only certainties of life. When you resist your cyclic nature, you resist life and feel stuck. Many of us have learned to be who the world wants to be, but there comes a time when it is harder to hold on to this facade than it is to embrace who we truly are, to surrender to how we have changed and align life to that way of being. If you pulled this card, you are being called to let go of who you once were, or the things that you once defined yourself by, the job, the relationship, and the mask you wore, and to embrace who you truly are now. To courageously step into the person that you came here to be in full authenticity. To embrace your weirdness and your uniqueness. Perhaps you have outgrown some relationships or circumstances, and it is time to reassess and bring all the parts of your life into alignment so that they are congruent with who you truly are. today. So in your journal, write, what in your life or what in my life is not aligned or needs to change? And answer that question. That's your light. That will help unblock this indecision about communicating, about fully expressing yourself, about going with the flow, this unwillingness to move. The creativity card that will help unblock you this week, and the tarot card we're getting, Enchantment, and the Princess of Cups. This is the Page of Cups energy, and I love Enchantment coming out with that because that's kind of what it's like to feel in the Page of Cups energy, to be enchanted by somebody, to be, caught up like a teenager in your lovesick feelings for them. We are enchanted when the muses sing the art spirit into us. This is the 47th card. The Enchantment card is an indication that you must remember that living a creative life connects you to an unbroken line of artists, inventors, dancers, poets, writers, and magic makers down through history. Allow yourself to revel in being part of what makes life worth living. Selecting the Enchantment card is a reminder that the spiritual nature of creativity involves our allowing the soul of what we wish to accomplish to sing itself into our heart and mind. The statue exists in the matrix. The image calls to us to assemble it. The books, ideas, and scenarios are waiting in the ether for us to be inhabited by them. The creative person does not fear the mystery or being enchanted and transformed into a different person. They embrace the magical, mystical, numinous side of life. That's your work for this week. Find out what needs to change. Open your heart to that true love, to being enchanted. There's a turtle here inside of this shell. So there is this, with the page energy, it's new and it's progressing in this slow and steady way, because it's deep and truly enlightening feeling. And it's shared and mutual. Oops. Okay, let's do the feminine side. Divine Feminine, you are going to need to rely on the attributes of the Seeker and the Fool. And you are needing to release shadow attributes. This is what's going to help you release this how, when, where is everybody going to see my success feeling. So the shadow attribute of the Seeker is an inability to commit to a path once found. And the shadow attributes of the Fool are using humor to wound rather than liberate, and a denial of your emotional truth. I hate the message that's about to come out, so I want to shoot the messenger right now, personally. This is about the twin flame path. It's about denying your emotional truth in regards to that path. And it's about feeling foolish in committing to that path, to being with your counterpart. Love that for us. So releasing the shadow of that. No longer using humor to wound. Sorry, Divine Masculine. But I'm so funny. I'm making all the people laugh. Come on. Sorry that I'm as mean to you as I am to myself. Okay. And then actually committing to something. This fear that you're going to appear foolish or look foolish or seem silly or stupid. Who gives a fuck? Like, my job is to help people laugh at absurdity and hypocrisy, like this card says, and fearlessly reveal my emotions. And that is what is going to help me The only reason I don't know how or when something is going to happen is because I haven't committed to what I want. If I committed to wanting the divine counterpart, I would know it's going to happen. I wouldn't be like, how, when? I would be like, no, it's going to happen because you committed to the path. You know that's the path you're supposed to be on, and it's going to unfold. So your anxieties and your worries and your fears about it happening and about the public acclaim and the victory and all that, that's bullshit. The only reason you feel like it's not going to happen is because you haven't committed to it. And what would help? Forgiveness. If you forgive the masculine energy for the third party bullshit that has been between you, or forgive yourself for having your own third party bullshit between you, is what you should most likely do, then you would choose your divine counterpart every time, no matter what the pattern says. So commit to that path if you want it. Instead of being like, how, when, if, just commit to it. Absolutely commit to it. Do not deny that that is your emotional truth, that that is what you emotionally want. And to back that up, you've got Believe, St. Hildegard von Bingen, and you're getting St. Padre Pio. These are my two saints. They are always haunting me. And St. Hildegard von Bingen was this incredible woman at a time when women weren't allowed to be incredible. And Padre Pio is the ultimate healer. And he's holding up the Ace of Cups here because he really is showing you how to connect with the divine, which is where this healing transformation takes place. You literally can't believe in anything without the grace of God within you, or goddess, or whatever you want to call that energy. You are incapable as a human of believing in miracles. You must be divine and human, the anthropos, in order for you to be able to see miracles. That's what Christ consciousness is. It's understanding we are both human and divine. We exist in the material, and we have a higher spiritual consciousness. And the spiritual consciousness is what informs our thoughts, which create our reality. And our relationship to them is one of free will. We can choose to believe or not believe. We can choose to have a corrupt imagination or not. It is up to us. It is our choice. So your protection right now, your guardians, the thing that is helping you release this fear is the healing of your ability to believe in achieving what you desire in the way that you dreamed you would. And it's like, I keep seeing that hawk all the time. Oh my God. It just flew by. And I keep seeing that hawk all the time outside of my window because there's a huge hawk that lives here. I think there's actually 2 or 3 of them, but there's definitely one that is very territorial over my building, this building over on the other side, and flies like back and forth. And it's that ability to see like the bigger picture and also the details, right? So your beliefs are being healed right now. Your belief in yourself as this divine feminine creatrix, that's going to help you release your fear that you're not going to achieve public victory. You are. Pigoo spirit. I love pigs. Oh my God. Use your mind wisely. This is 47. Pigs are great. I can't. Pig spirit appears to remind you of the right use of intelligence, a gift we all have that is meant to be used with love, compassion, and discernment. Intelligence means recognizing the value of intuition partnered with smarts and common sense, which leads to intelligent solutions. When pig spirit appears, you are called to respect your analytical mind and use it for the highest good, recognizing that all facts must be considered even when they do not fit with what you know already. Spirit blesses us with wisdom when we allow pig spirit to nudge us into open-minded, thoughtful dialogues, whether with others or internally, as we mull over our ideas and what we have come to understand. You are intelligent and capable of clear-minded thinking, shaped by the wisdom you have accumulated and the intuition that will tell you when you have more learning to do, because not all facts are in. Now is a time that your decision-making powers are reliable, for you are in alignment with pig spirit's keen intelligence. And I just feel like this is absolutely what you're learning from the pause here, because we had this Two of Swords and we had the Queen of Swords also. Where was she? Oh, she was over on the masculine side. Queen of Swords over here. And the clarity needed to overcome literally the feminine obstacle, the moon in reverse. How, when, the fear that it was never going to happen, etc. A lot of synchronicity in this reading. It's pretty freaking incredible. All right, so Pigu Spirit's helping you too. Pig Spirit, sorry. Pigu. This is your light work, Divine Feminine Priestess. It was actually reversed, but it says, how are you being called to step up and lead? And I'm going to get the correct book. Priestess 46. The priestess is a teacher dedicated to service, freedom, and leadership. You don't need to have it all together to lead. In fact, it helps if you don't. No one wants a perfect angel who hasn't made any mistakes. Let your life be your message. Don't underestimate the power of sharing your story. It's by hearing someone else's journey that we feel less alone. We realize that we're actually all in this thing called life together. The difference between a follower and a leader is that a leader has the courage to go first. In stepping out, they shine a light on the path for others to venture forward too. Don't fret too much about trying to work out who is your tribe. Don't get stuck in age, income, hobbies, or occupation. The best way to discover your tribe is to look in the mirror. If you feel called to lead, chances are it is because at some point in your life you longed for someone to lead you. Your tribe are longing for exactly the same thing as you were and are, and might only be one step behind you. Hell, they may even be right alongside you. You don't need anyone's permission, just the courage to stand up. Embrace your struggles, the peaks, the troughs. You don't need to know the way. Just believe that there might be a different one. Your tribe is waiting for you. Step forward so they can find you. So your light work is to write down, how am I being called to step up and lead? And how can I be the leader I wish I had? All right. And then Divine Feminine, you are for this week. Oh, you're welcome for the reading. For this week, we are getting, your focus is on the Death card. So that is the third time we have seen the Death card. It was here and here. Transformation, endings bring about new beginnings, and this is coming out with the Beliefs card, which I might remind you was also here. So, Divine Feminine, we all have certain beliefs that help us or can trap us and keep us from moving toward creative solutions. 59 is the number for this card, and I'm going to say it. I believe your beliefs about Divine Masculine are holding you back, and that's what needs to end or die. These old beliefs about masculine energy. The beliefs card is an indication that problems you are experiencing with the matter in question are the result of either your unquestioned beliefs or that of another person involved. Selecting the beliefs card is a reminder that what we affirm to be true without question can be beliefs that are not of our making, but those we absorbed from caregivers and those we respected and depended upon when we were young and vulnerable. Affirm now that you will be mindful and aware and replace your self-limiting affirmations such as I cannot do that because, or that's impossible, with our master affirmation. I have all that I need to get or do what I want. Repeat this and feel that it is true because it is true. Your beliefs create your experience of reality, not the other way around. So you need to, this week, end limiting beliefs of I cannot do that or that's impossible by repeating when you think those things, I have all that I need to get or do what I want. And the clarity about what you want, the admission of what your what your emotional truth is, this will bring about what you truly desire. I can feel my own lack of clarity. All right, so we are now at the final, oh my God, we're at the final part of the reading. This is where we will look at the oracles for both the masculine and feminine energy. Thank you so much for being here for an hour and 30 minutes today, and for probably the next 20 minutes to finish out these cards. Please, if you would, I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. I am very close to that goal. I'm at like 440. So if you could start sharing my YouTube with people, I would really, really appreciate that. It's one of the best ways to support my channel right now, as well as just going ahead and booking a personal reading or sending a donation for these free readings that I do. I am having trouble paying for groceries and rent and the things that I need right now because I have had fewer bookings in the last month. However, I do feel that's changing with the season and also the energy. And I'm running a deal right now for Valentine's Day. You can get 22% off by using the code THELOVERS, all capital, 222. That will get you 22% off of any service on my site. So go take advantage, and I will hopefully see you for a virtual reading very soon. Okay, let us continue with these final cards. You are both right now in the light attributes of the king. And he looks like the King of Pentacles, and we got him 3 times. So this is kind of crazy. This is enlightened, benevolent leadership and benefiting those in your charge. So any excessive feelings of entitlement or rulership without restraint have been released. And you're absolutely in this benevolence. And you're benefiting yourselves, the people around you, by your leadership. Your guardian angel is here to support you in faith. This is all you need. I have infinite trust in God. My trust in God is infinite. I have infinite trust in my gifts. My trust in my gifts is infinite. I have infinite trust in the spirit or in goddess or in Allah or whatever it is you want to call that consciousness. Have infinite trust in it. Moth spirit is here to help you with surrendering now. This is 39. Moth spirit asks, what is guiding you right now? Are you in alignment with spirit or pursuing something or someone with so much tenacity that it has become a compulsion or addiction? Are you so intoxicated by a potential relationship or opportunity that you can't think straight? Hard work and dedication are virtues, and love, of course, is a beautiful thing. However, when moth spirit appears, it is time to consider if you have gone over the edge in a relentless pursuit. Workaholism, overeating, perfectionism, or addiction to certainty or even to a person may be your current vice. The form of your addiction does not matter so much as awareness of the consequences of remaining persistent when moderation is needed. Let go of your excessive energy by channeling it in more than one direction. The fire burns hot, and you do not want to be engulfed by your passion to the exclusion of all the other pursuits that matter to you. Now is a time for surrender and radical acceptance, so that your drive does not cause you to flee or to fight. Spirit wants you to release your need for certainty and control, so that you can relax into a more balanced way of using your moth spirit energy. Banish the shoulds and musts, so that you can enjoy what is as you allow for what might be. Your light work is Leap, which we got the Fool card a lot today too, so pretty interesting. This says, you go first and the universe will catch you. It's page 74. No, it's not. Page 72. Life bends for the courageous. The universe wants to support you, but first you need to leap, to throw your life up in the air. Perhaps you know what you're being called to leap toward or away from, but are scared to make the move. Or maybe perhaps you are waiting for a big fat sign or instruction manual or permission to do so first. If this is you, then this card is your sign and permission slip to take a deep breath and leap into the unknown. It's scary to let go of all that we know and hope for something new. And it's normal to feel anxious at the thought of letting go of what we know for sure. But this is the unavoidable process of rising. And right now, this is how you are being called to live. Nature is constantly showing us how to live with courage. Fall comes every year and encourages the trees to loosen their grip, to allow what once was so full of life to fall away, leaf by leaf. For a moment, it feels like nothing will grow again. The branches are left bare without the comfort of what once was. But in the morn of spring, new shoots begin to appear, and something new is born that is even more glorious than before. Your work, your light action is, you go first. Take a good run up and leap. So you have to figure out how that applies to you and what it is you need to leap towards. But if you do, the universe is going to catch you no matter what that is. And finally, very interesting message. Your final message is the Seven of Swords, but it's coming out with this card, which is Happy Accident. It is the 61st card. It says, fortunate accidents can act as guides to edit and be open to where you should go next. So I feel this is definitely a divine detours type of a message. If we were getting the Coyote Spirit card in Spirit Animal Oracle, that's definitely the message I would feel strongly coming through here. But let's see what this Happy Accident says, because the Seven of Swords is about surprise, something happening behind the scenes. The Happy Accident card is an indication that the solution to your current situation will arise spontaneously through an event that will at first be seen as some kind of a mistake or a failure. These gifts from the Muses can be recognized for the blessings that they are only if you are able to not be distracted by what appears to be an error, omission, or other annoyance, and instead see these minor irritations as signposts indicating a happy accident may be found right alongside them. Recognizing happy accidents is the clearest sign that you are an artist. Cultivate this ability because it requires that you refrain from harsh judgments and knee-jerk unconscious reactions when apparent mistakes or failures are identified. Staying calm when facing what can easily be seen to be avoidable mistakes is the mark of the master magic maker. I love this. This is about letting yourself be surprised. It's the ultimate release, honestly, for both of your obstacles. For the feminine, who's fixated on how and when and all the secrets and mysteries being revealed about her ability to celebrate her success in a public way so that other people can see it. She's needing to release her ego's attachment to being seen this way. She is already embodying this. She doesn't need other people to confirm this for her. So, releasing that the way that she thinks this is all going to come to be is unknown. It's not quite revealed yet. It's like kind of come from these happy accidents, from these synchronicities and events that are unfolding without her being able to control them because she has to surrender to that. The masculine being blocked by not having communicated with the feminine in the past. This, looking at this as a happy accident, this is allowed for a divine detour. It's allowed for the divine feminine to fully become herself and her worthiness, which is uncomfortable for you because you don't know how you're going to get away with approaching her now that she is in her worthiness. But you have to trust that there will be a happy accident. If you can surrender to what it is you desire and follow your intuition as it starts to give you signs to show you where to go, that's you just taking the leap and being like, okay, fine, I'm going to do this. This is what I want. I would like this, please. Take the leap and allow those happy accidents to unfold. Alrighty. We are done. Thank you so much for being here. If you would like to see me again for absolutely free, you can see me on Friday doing the release and rebuild spread. Also on Sunday with Grace Strega on TikTok for an hour answering your personal questions live. And then another hour over on Instagram doing a divine check-in and doing a choose your own personal reading. You can either choose one of two objects and then the reading that comes from that will be your own personal reading. However, usually both readings resonate. So you kind of get two readings for the price of one, which is totally free. So if you need a dose of me for free, that is where you can see me. If you would like to see the Tell Me Everything spread that is going to take place tomorrow or on Saturday, you can become a member. It's really easy. You can click the link below to figure it out, but it's only $3.33 to see those Tell Me Everything spreads. Or you can just purchase the Spiritual Nourishment course, take a course on learning how to tune into your intuition and receive free access to the website for a year. So whichever you choose, whatever path you take, I'm sure you'll be very happy being able to see me 6 days a week. And then, of course, you can catch me sometimes on TikTok doing spontaneous readings, or sometimes I rehearse music. So definitely go follow me on TikTok if you want to see what I'm up to. And I keep missing Monday TikToks. It's supposed to be 6 days a week, but I keep just not being able to do it on Monday for some reason. So I'm going to go back to my 6 days a week, hopefully starting today. But you can always see my 3-minute readings over there as well. So I think that's everything. I have a busy day today. I want to try to squeeze in a study hall with Saffron. And then I have I have a reading at 2, and my bassist is supposed to come over. It's a long day, but it'll be a fun day. So take care, everybody. I shall see you tomorrow. And just surrender, man. Just surrender, man. Have the best day.